Hey, Richard.
Hello, Elizabeth.
So we're going to have a full house, probably.
Yeah, I got the music all set.
Oh, Gianfranco, you managed to get in.
Good morning.
Yes, I did.
Hello, hello.
Hello,
This is
hello.
Flavia from Italy. Hi, Santi. Hello.
Ciao, come stai?
Santi.
Benissimo, tu come stai?
Abbastanza bene, direi.
vedi?
Tanto tempo che non ci vediamo.
E adesso ci vediamo per questa bellissima iniziativa.
Sei a casa?
Sì, sono a casa.
Lecce?
E tu te la ricordi, casa mia? Tu e Gaila siete stati...
Come no, ci sono stato. Sì. Tutto bene?
Sì, tutto bene. Io quest'anno faccio il governatore dei Lions della Puglia, quindi è gravosissimo.
Brava.
E purtroppo tra mezz'ora vi dovrò lasciare per una riunione, però non potevo non collegarmi, non farti gli auguri, voglio cantare Happy Birthday.
Sì, grazie. Senti, ti manderò un link, un mio amico, abbiamo fatto una piccola festa e ha fatto un 10 minuti di documentario, ti mando un link. È lo stesso regista che ha fatto il documentario sulla mia vita, non so se l'hai visto. Poi ti ho mandato un invito per la mostra, l'hai ricevuto?
Della mostra non mi ricordo, il documentario me lo ricordo.
Adesso la mostra è cominciata un paio di settimane fa al museo qui d'arte di Santa Barbara.
Santa Barbara.
Ti mando il resto poi.
Mi fa piacere. Chi sono gli amici che vedo collegati? Mi fa piacere conoscere.
Ci sono, dunque, questa signora è la direttrice del programma.
John Flandrick?
È sotto il nome del boyfriend. Questo è mio figlio Tony. Qua c'è mio figlio Tony.
Oh, sì. Ciao Tony.
Ciao.
Parli italiano?
No.
No, so we can speak in English. There's no problem.
Ehi, Gianfranco, Fra. Questo è il mio amico Fra di Roma, Franco.
Ciao Franco.
È un bravissimo fotografo, vive a Roma, però negli anni 80 era qui a New York e facevamo delle bellissime cene.
Bella.
Delle grandi discussioni sulla fotografia.
Sì.
Richard
poi
Hagan,
non so chi c'è altro, vediamo.
Richard has a lovely Stetson, if I'm not
allora,
wrong.
Don Pollard, lui è il fotografo del governatore di New York, di Cuomo, è stato un mio alunno.
Wow.
Non si vede. Questa è Karen.
I'll give you my best Italian. Pizza, linguini, lasagna, limoncello.
Karen
That's as good as it gets. Everybody
The Artist
stand by.
Response with Elizabeth Stewart, and you're welcome to join us. Please stay tuned for a program produced by Richard Dugan and researched and presented by Elizabeth Stewart, who welcomes the great artists of our community. What follows is a conversation of an artist's experience about the artist's response to trying times, creativity, reinvention, recovery, and of course, flexibility, which is in fact the narrative of our present time.
1, you're live.
Hello, Santa Barbara. It's your chantress of everything valuable and beautiful, Elizabeth Stewart, and I've got something really valuable and really beautiful to celebrate. And that's Santi Visalli's 90th birthday. Everybody knows Santi, Santa Barbara, and Rome, and New York, and we've got so many people on the air today to wish Santi a happy birthday. I want to start the hour by a little poem. Khalil Gibran, who wrote this in 1923. And a youth said, "Speak to us of friendship." And he answered saying, "Your friend is your needs answered. Here's your field, which you sow with love and reap with thanksgiving. He is your board, your fireside. For you come to him with your hunger. You seek him for peace. When your friend speaks his mind, you fear not the nay in your own mind, nor do you withhold the a. And when he is silent, your heart ceases not to listen. For without words in friendship, all thoughts, all desires, all expectations are born and shared with joy that is unacclaimed. When you part from your friend, you grieve not, for that which you love most in him may be clearer in his absence, as the mountain to the climber is clearer to the plain. And let there be no purpose in friendship save the deepening of the spirit. For love that seeks aught but the disclosure of its own mystery is not love, but a cast net forth, and only the profitable is caught. And let your best friend be by your side, for he must know the ebb of your tide, and let him know its flood also. For what is your friend that you should seek him with hours to kill? Seek him only with hours to live. For it is him to fill your need, but not your emptiness. And in the sweetness of friendship, let there be laughter and sharing of pleasures. For in the dew of little things, the heart finds its morning and is refreshed. And so we are here to celebrate. Oh, okay, Richard, go for it.
Tanti giorni felici, tanti auguri a te, tanti auguri.
So happy birthday, Santi.
Happy birthday.
Thank you very much. I'm very happy to see you. Some of you I haven't seen it for years. Tom Pollard is coming here in 2 weeks from New York. He was one of my students in New York, and then for many years, Governor Cuomo personal photographer. So some of my young friends achieved most eye post as a photographers, and I'm very happy, that I was able to pass on the torch. There are quite a few of them. Brian Hamill couldn't make it. He's flying to Los Angeles, and the others are just, friend and not necessarily photographers. We had a great party here the other night. We were about 35. I'm going to send you guys a link. Andy Davis did a little documentary documenting the event.
And I hear that at the party you said something about the riches that you've accumulated, Santi. What did you say?
Well, I said at the party that in my family always, when they were, of course, we grew very poor. We were coming out of a war. There was no money, there was no food, there were no clothes. I remember one night there was I only had one pair of shoes and they had holes. But one night we were bombarded. One bomb came close to my house and didn't explode, but made a big hole. And my mother was running with me. She was pushing me, and I fell into this hole. I left the shoes in the hole. So I got to the shelter with one shoes. I was so embarrassed with one shoe. Nobody, of course, paid attention. But, for a long time, I had no shoes. This was the situation. And so in the house, to go back to the friends, always my relatives, my grandfather, everybody always said what counts in life is not what material wealth you have, how much money you have, or clothes or food. Your health is in your friend. Your friend are your wealth. You know, your really true friend are the ones you can count on, the ones you can call, and they can be there at the spur of the moment. So this was the spirit at the table. The night there were tears in the eyes because, you know, to many Americans, I'm sorry to say this, it doesn't occur, you know, how strong the friendship among European people can be, maybe because here we are too busy, but we tend to be a little superficial. You know, we have meetings, dinner 3 weeks before, we call on the phone. We used to drop in and talk and confide. It was altogether a different thing. But
what I want to do, we're going to go to quick break in a few minutes, but what I want to do when we get back from the break is I want to start maybe Gianfranco and Flavia and Tony and Richard and Karen and Don who are with us. Maybe they can take turns and tell us the Santi story. And so maybe Gianfranco in Rome, I believe, right? Oh, I think are you on mute, Gianfranco? Well, let's go to break. And then after we get back from the break, we're going to take turns telling our favorite Santi story. And probably there's a lot of them. So pick the best one. And when we get back from the break, we'll hear about your relationship with Santi through the story. Hey, Richard.
Yes, Elizabeth.
Will you wish Santi a happy 90th?
Absolutely. Santi, happy birthday. I want you to know that I had to blow out your candles for you here at the station because it set off the smoke alarm. By the way, my father is also 90 years old. And so I congratulate him, but you especially. And I hope that you will continue the work that you have been doing for so many years, showing us through your eyes and your lens the world as you see it.
And the world as he feels it too.
And feels it, yes.
Yeah, very important. Okay, let's go to quick break. Back with Santi Visalli's 90th birthday celebration. Don't turn that down. Back in a minute.
Well, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Well, happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
So, Gianfranco, can you hear us? And I wonder what's wrong. Richard, what's wrong with Gianfranco's?
Gianfranco, put the microphone on. Maybe
you're muted. You need to turn your microphone on.
He doesn't show us that he's muted.
Otherwise, we got to Karen.
No, he is not muted. I tell you, you're absolutely correct. I was looking
muted.
at Richard's screen there. Richard is muted.
Don and Richard are muted.
You might want to check your microphone settings on Zoom if you know how to do that. The little microphone in the lower left-hand corner of Zoom, so that you got to see if you're using the right microphone on your system there.
There's a bar. There's a bar on the icon of the microphone. Do you have a red bar?
Now he shows that he's muted. So now if you
just click on that to take the bar off.
Click your mute, unmute the mic.
Yeah.
There. Something else.
Okay.
I wonder, Richard, do you think Gianfranco can call in?
Where is he calling in from?
From Rome.
Well, if he'd like to, sure. Our number here, 864-564-1290. But he's going to have the country code. And honestly, I can't rember I don't dial this country
01.
From another country.
There's one, I think.
It's just.
Well, let's go to somebody else.
Well, Gianfranco, if you can write this number down, if you can call the station, Richard can patch you in. It's 805. What is it, 805? What is it, Richard? The
1290.
564-1290.
And you need the country code 001.
Auguri. 001.
It's 001 is the country code.
Giorni felici, tanti auguri.
And Flavia, we're going to start with you.
Tanti auguri.
Here we go. In 3, 2,
Tanti
1.
auguri.
You're live.
Welcome back. This is Santi's on-air 90th birthday celebration with some of his friends from around the world. We're going to go to Flavia. And Flavia, you're calling us from where?
I'm calling from Lecce, the south of Italy, in Puglia. You know, Italy is like a boot. I'm in the hill, down there, Puglia, Lecce. And actually, I had the chance to meet Santi many, many years ago. It was in the 90s. And a mutual friend told me I had a magazine to promote Puglia, my region in the United States. And a mutual friend that by chance I saw in a conference call today, Vito Spada, talked me about Santi and said, why don't invite him for the pictures in your magazine? And by chance, he was staying with Gayla in the same place where I was staying, a beautiful little village, Hastings-on-Hudson, beautiful, North New York. So we met. He was very kind. He started contributed with my magazine, and then we became friends. And then he invited me to visit him in California, in Santa Barbara. And we had an event also there in Santa Barbara, and his photos were in my magazine. And he and Gayla were wonderful hosts. Her hospitality was just lovely. And so we spent a different nice time in New York, in Santa Barbara, and then they came and visited me in Lecce, in Puglia, and I showed them around to see the best spot, the best landmark that we have. So
yeah, the best Barocco architecture in Southern Italy.
Yes, exactly. And also the sea, of course, a little bit of everything. And so it's a friendship which has many, many different places in it, many different stories. And so I want to wish Santi the best. My best wishes to a great photographer, a great man, a great friend. And I wish you a very, very happy birthday. And all the best to you and your family.
And Flavia, what's your favorite? Flavia just gave Santi a big kiss all the way from the boot of Italy. Flavia, what's your favorite photograph that he took for your magazine?
Well, actually, my favorite is a photo that he gave me for free for the cover of my only book of poems that I published in the United States in 1999. And there was the Brooklyn Bridge, and the moon was something just magnificent. And his photo was the cover of my only book of poems. American
Wonderful.
Eclipses.
Wonderful. Santi, you remember taking the shot?
Pardon me?
Yeah.
Oh, I can show you. I can show. I have it right in here. I can show it. Give me a moment.
And dear listener, I realize we're on radio, but Flavia is now going into her library. We can see each other because we're on Zoom. And she's going to find the book where Santi did the original photo. It's beautiful. American Eclipses is the name of Flavia's poetry book. And there it is. The shot of the Brooklyn Bridge with the moon glow in the background. It's very evocative. Just beautiful. Santi Visalli's photo on the cover of Flavia's book. And you know, Santi, the outreach that you've had throughout your career It's so amazing to me now. Hey, Richard is there, and Richard, you're on mute. Take your mute off and tell us a Santi story.
Yeah, so Santi, I don't know if you remember me. I'm Richard Yao. I'm the president here at CSU Channel Islands.
I know who you are. I want to congratulate you for your new post.
No, I'm very excited. And on behalf of our entire campus community, I wanted to wish you a heartfelt happy birthday. So glad to be here. And please know that we're so thankful for your dedication to our university, your donation of your photography collection that included over 107,000 negatives to our campus. And you gave us not only the collections, but also allowing us for the copyright, the reproduction, so we can use license fees to offset the cost of managing the collection. So we just really appreciate that. And I'm excited to say, as the newly appointed president, we're going to be displaying your work throughout the office of the president here in University Hall, so we can admire it every day as you walk through, and just thrilled. And Santi, you might not remember this, but when I was appointed interim back in January of 2021, one of my first trips out in the community as we're coming out of this COVID thing was to Santa Barbara, and you were having lunch outside on a patio, and I totally interrupted your lunch. I feel bad about that, but you were so welcoming and you were so thankful, and you were very aware that I was appointed interim, and now I'm the appointed president.
For my friends, never. No, I am glad that we were all praying that you will get the post. Many people, and especially me, that I knew you as an interim president, and now I'm so happy. And I hope we can continue doing a lot of good things together for the students of the university and for posterity, because every time I click, that 30th of a second to me is a 30th of a second of history, and they should be preserved. Well, the other people in even 100 years from now can enjoy it.
Yeah, and it's such an inspiration to our students and our entire community. And I'm going to be in Santa Barbara next week. I know Helene Schneider is working on a time.
Yeah, we're going to see at the museum. You're coming to see my show.
I will see you on Wednesday. So happy birthday, and thanks for allowing me to be here with you.
Thank you very much for being here.
And dear listener, what Dr. Yao is talking about is that the Channel Islands University was recipient of thousands and thousands and thousands of Santi's images. Santi donated his images to the university.
Over 107,000 of them, over 107,000. So we are eternally grateful for that. Wonderful, wonderful.
I was there because I did the appraisal for the donation. I was there at the dedication. It was a fantastic display. And the Santi's so generous to have given the university this entire lifetime of work. So the university has his repository. That's what Dr. Yao is speaking about regarding Santi's generous donation. I want to go to Tony for a quick Santi story. Tony, tell us who you are.
Well, first of all, I'm Tony Visalli, Santi's son. Sorry that there's no last name on the school pictures.
Well, I know who you are.
I have been a student of Santi's for 57 years of my life and still learning from the man to this day. Very, very proud of him. Came to this country, $60 in his pocket, truly lived the American dream, all while maintaining his Italian traditions and heritage, and gave our family a great, great life. Thank you, Pop.
I am so proud of you.
Thank you.
The best thing I did in my life is to create my family.
Yeah, thank you.
Tony, do you have a story of the kind of parent that Santi was, perhaps?
I have lots of them, but I'll share a quick one with you. Being that my father is from the old school traditions of, you have to work hard to get places in life. And he instilled that in my brother and myself, and we still carry those traditions on to this day. And one of those lessons was Came home from college, always had a summer job, but there was a gap between when I came home from school and when my summer job was starting. And a bunch of my friends were going to the beach for the weekend. So I asked my father if he could front me some money until I started my summer job. And in his true fashion, he said, sure, no problem. And he directed me out to the backyard and said next to his lemon tree was the money tree, and to grab myself a couple of hundreds and grab him a couple of hundreds too while I was there.
I get it. So he was saying, okay, if you want to do what you want to do, you got to make your own money.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Do you remember that, Santi?
Yeah. Well, it's not that I'm very generous, but what I tried to teach.
It was a joke, Bob.
That didn't grow in the tree. We had to work for it.
And we always have, and we're very thankful that.
And I am so proud. My son made chief of police. Imagine that. And he was very, very young when he did that job. Extremely young, and he did it well. Because I know you did very well there.
You always
you care for the town. I remember in a restaurant, one time we had lunch together. I lived in California, came, and my son selected a restaurant, and he sat in the corner with his shoulder protected by a wall. And I say, why you sit over there? He said, I have a responsibility to protect 10,000 people in this town. And I always sit in a strategic position so I can have a bird's eye view of what is happening. Very sensitive about other people.
So Richard's telling us we got to go to quick break. When we get back, maybe Karen can tell us a Santi story when we get back from the break. This is Elizabeth Stewart. I'm speaking with Santi Visalli in honor of his 90th birthday. Santi is a notable, important artist and member of the Santa Barbara community, but as we're finding out, a member of the New York community, of the Channel Islands community, the Rome community, the Boot of Italy community. So Santi's influence goes all over the world through his beautiful photography. We get back from the break. Karen Kahn is going to tell us her favorite Santi story. Hey, Richard.
Yes.
Let's go to quick break. Be back with Karen's story.
Actually, maybe you want to talk to Rome because he's on the phone.
I think so too.
Okay. So yes. So yes. Okay. So when we get back, Gianfranco's on the phone. Richard, do you have Gianfranco? Not yet. Okay. So Gianfranco's connecting Santi. So we'll go to Karen's story when we get back from the break. Don't turn that down. Happy birthday to Santi Visalli, 90th birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
That must be Gala's master chorale singing you happy birthday, Santi.
That's Westminster Choir, actually.
Oh, close.
Yeah, I was having fun trying to find the best happy birthday rendition. It's like that earworm thing.
Well, I was enjoying the Italian lesson because I've been studying Italian on Duolingo, and every time I see Santi, I ask him a question of, how do you pronounce this? My Duolingo never likes the way I say it, but I was having a wonderful time just listening to you at the beginning of this Zoom call because it all seemed to work. And of course, understanding and reading's a little easier. It's wonderful. So I'm figuring this is great.
Well, Karen, you know how I met Santi? So we were at the same gym, and I swam every morning, and Santi would come and after he did his weights, he'd come and hang out by the hot tub. And so I was in the hot tub, and I was working on my my dissertation at that time. So I was a doctoral candidate, and I was studying Dante, and I was reading Dante in the hot tub. Just, you know, you get, when you're working that way, you full-time job and studying, you know, I took every moment to try to study. And Santi noticed the book, and he spoke the first lines, you know, in Italian. And I thought,
mezzo del cammin di nostra vita mi ritrovai per una selva oscura che la diritta via era smarrita. Ai, quanto a dir qual era e cosa dura, eccetera, eccetera.
at the midpoint of my life, I found myself in the dark wood. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I was so enthralled with that. And I said, you know, how interesting. Maybe I could learn the rhyme scheme, which is very complex. And Santi helped me with that, and we became friends over
We are
Dante.
coming back. 2.
Hello? Hello?
Hi, Franco.
Oh, Gianfranco, can you hear?
Yes, I can hear.
Okay, good.
We can
So
hear you too.
Oh, here, no, but here, but no. You cannot hear me.
We can-
I can hear you.
we can hear you. Tell us a Santi story, Gianfranco.
You cannot hear me. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Ah, allora non mi sentono.
Speak a little louder, Gianfranco.
Ale,
Parla un po' forte.
adesso mi sentono.
Parla un po' più forte.
Non te lascio. Ok, ciao, 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 ciao. Grazie, grazie. So I am with you. I asked a friend of mine to help me with microphone. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Very good, very good. No, I'm sorry for this inconvenience, you know. But I mean, if Santi was on the computer, it would be much better because he's perfect. He's very attentive, very precise in his work. So I met Santi in New York, and I was, you know, photography, but I was, you know, kind of amateur, naive, and so on. So I was going to his studio and saw all his material, his cameras, and so on. I got fascinated, and I saw him at work, organizing his space, and so attend to every detail. And I realized that behind the camera there was a sensitive personality, not only high professionalism as a photographer, but as a human being, as a person. That was what allows him to become so good and so skilled in his profession. He's care for people, for human beings, for introspection of personalities. He was somebody that loved, you know, the people he got in touch with. And so we became friends, and after that, I also got addicted to photography. And
You got addicted.
yeah, I got addicted with photography. Thank God. I was. He was for me. He was a great mentor. So we both loved to travel and to talk of our experiences. And after that, I kept being in touch with him throughout all these years. I was very sorry when he left New York, but after a couple of years, I also left New York and I went back to Rome.
So that's Gianfranco Bianchi's calling us from Rome to wish Santi a happy 90th birthday. Karen, do you have a quick Santi story?
a quick Santi story. Well, you know, they lived across the street from me for 20 years. And so there's lots of stories. We've done lots of travels. I must tell you that I consider myself to be Santi's groupie, because every time he would go somewhere for an exhibition, I think he had one in Brescia, I would trek after him and have a wonderful time, you know, meeting his friends, seeing all the photos and getting to see what really happens behind the scenes. So with that, we finally had the culmination of a real trip together, which was in 2019. We did a cruise from Santiago or San Antonio, Chile, up the coast of South America, all the way up to Los Angeles, 21 days. So I can say that Santi and I crossed the equator together and were inducted into the incredibly hokey ritual that goes along on cruise ships when you cross the equator. But the most wonderful thing and the most serendipitous thing about the cruise was that the captain of the ship was actually from Santi's hometown, Messina in Sicily. And of course, when he had an exhibit there later, guess who showed up? So it's a wonderful opportunity to have a friend who is so close and good. And we've recently just enjoyed his Santa Barbara exhibit, which we love. And hey, I'm surrounded by Santi in my office here. I have some wonderful pictures that he's taken of me, my father, and the area. So
let me just say, dear listener, what Karen's referring to is Santi's honored by our Santa Barbara Museum of Art with a one-man show, which is extremely important. And it is available for you guys to come and see at our Santa Barbara Museum of Art, Santi's one-man show. And also Karen's referring to the show. Santi was honored in Italy by also a one-man show in a Sicilian museum. And the town, I have shots of Santi cutting the ribbon to the town. And the parties and the festivals around Santi's show in that town. And so, you know, two major museums have honored Santi with the one-man show that is what Karen's referring to are these shows. Richard.
Yes, Elizabeth.
Let's go to quick break. And then I want to hear from Don when we get back from the break, maybe a Santi story from Don. Don Pollard is here. Don't turn that down. This is Santi's 90th on-air birthday celebration. Santi Visalli, beloved friend, mentor, artist, journalist. The list goes on. Donor, philanthropist. Shall I go on? No, I think we've got to go to quick break. We'll hear from Don when we get back, a Santi story. Don't turn that down. Back in a minute with Santi and his 90th birthday celebration.
Oh, well, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
We have Serena.
Happy
Serena.
Birthday, happy birthday.
I see there's Serena is on, but can she hear us?
I think she just doesn't have any video running, but she's also there. She
Birthday.
goes.
I'm so glad it's your birthday, baby. Oh, thank you very much for tuning
Serena?
in. Bye-bye.
Serena. Can you hear us?
Hello. I'm
Okay.
from Italy.
Okay.
But
So
I'm with
Serena,
the baby,
stand.
so
We can hear you. Yeah, stand by. What we're gonna ask you in a few minutes for a quick Santi story.
Okay.
So when we do, then you'll go off mute and tell us a little bit about a Santi story, okay?
I'm at home with my baby, so I can't speak. Sorry.
Oh, you'd rather not say anything?
No.
Okay.
Hi.
Well, there she is.
Yes, that's my baby. So I can hear, but I can't speak with you. Sorry.
Okay. Well, at least Santi, we're at break, so you can actually, Serena.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
Okay. Few years, I think 3 years ago, I was in a very important.
Stai vicino al microfono, che non ti muovi, stai vicino al microfono.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. I think 3 years ago, I was in a theater and waiting to get in, and there was a bookshop nearby, and I saw a lot of people gathering around the table and looking and chatting and so on. So I was curious. I approached. I get closer to the table, and on the table there was a book of Santi, Icons.
Tanti auguri
Yeah.
a te.
Stand by.
Tanti auguri a te.
Stand by.
Tanti giorni felici. Tanti
In
auguri
3, 2,
a
1,
te.
you're live.
Tanti auguri.
Welcome back. It's Elizabeth Stewart, and we're talking with Santi Visalli and a number of his friends from all over the world in celebration of Santi's 90th birthday. Santi, a notable community member, is here in Santa Barbara, but as we are learning today, a notable community member in a lot of different communities. We're represented here today. The Boot of Italy is here, Rome is here, New York is here, and friends from Santa Barbara are here, as well as the president of the University in Channel Islands. So we have many important people wanting to wish Santi a very happy 90th birthday. And we're going to go to Don Pollard for a Santi story. Don, are you there?
Yep, can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yep, so I first met Santi. I had a job working as Governor Mario Cuomo's photographer. And I did that for 10 years, and I was very good at covering assignments. But when he was voted out of office, I was kicked out when he left. And so Santi offered that I could be his unpaid assistant and intern. So, because I knew a lot about covering events, but I didn't know how to run a photo business. So we hung out a lot together. And it was interesting, Richard mentioned lunch on a patio, because lunches were a very important part of his life. And I'd show up at his studio and he'd cook these amazing lunches, and we'd have wine. And it was like that every day. It wasn't a special occasion. That was just the way he lived, a beautiful way. But I remember one of the most enlightening experiences when I was assisting him covering a big formal gala, I think for the Italian Trade Commission. And we arrived early at this big dinner. And the first thing he told the host was, "Tell me where our seats are for the dinner, or we're leaving." And he was going to leave the dinner.
Well, so are you telling us that food is important to Santi, Don?
Absolutely. And it's important when you're covering a long gala to make sure you have a dinner. And I do a lot of work for the Metropolitan Museum of Art, and almost every event I cover, I get dinner. And it goes back to Santi and learning to make sure you line up that part of the job.
So, my partner, John, has been mentored by Santi. And what's interesting about your story there is that when Santi and John first started to work together, and John was learning from Santi, and by the way, John accompanied him as an assistant to the museum show in Sicily. When they first started work together, Santi said, "Well, I'm not going to teach you photography unless you know how to grow tomatoes." And so there were lessons about learning to grow tomatoes before we even saw a camera around the house, because it was important to have that organic experience. And of course, the gastronomical experience came later too. And so the idea of food and art working together. Santi, why is that important? Why is food important to the artistic mind?
Well, because everything happens. I grew up. Everything happens around the table. First of all, I think that to eat in Italy is an art, like you do everything else. You don't eat to fill your stomach, but you eat to taste the food. That we were blessed in this earth to have such abundance of things, and we should appreciate them. And Italy has reached the peak of how to combine all those things. Imagine they're thousands away to do the pasta because as too much the sauce. There were so many rituals, and it's not to fill your stomach, but to have a conversation. Everything happens around the table. The family talk, all the problem are solved there. When you have lunch with the people and you have an expression in English, you say, let's break bread together. It is very important. Jesus, the Last Supper done by Leonardo, that was important too.
And Santi, can you tell us, do you consider Don Pollard a good fork?
Don Pollard, yes, of course. Of course, he loved to eat, but most of all, I taught him how to invoice his clients.
He did.
He
to
didn't
invoice
know
them
what
for
to
more
do
than I could
after-
imagine.
After he took the picture, he didn't know what to do. And he said how much I should charge. How should I do it?
And whatever I said,
Oh.
Santi would double it. So I did very well because of Santi.
Yes, well, I was also referring, Santi told me that there's an Italian expression that if somebody can share a meal well, they're called a good fork.
Yes, definitely. That's an
Yeah, also-
Italian expression.
Also, Santi told me a lot about going to market. I went to Arthur Avenue a few times with him and to 9th Avenue. And he just found the best providers for the best price. He took me to the East Village cheese shop. He got the most amazing cheese for like a third of what I was paying for the same cheese. And then he's very meticulous in his kitchen. He runs it like his photography, very disciplined, very organized. Everything's very clean and arranged perfectly. So the execution and then the cleanup afterwards was just as important. So it would be ready for the next meal. So it was a very complete internship.
Tony, as Santi's son, what's your favorite meal that your dad cooks?
Probably one of the risottos that he would make. But everything was good. We ate like kings in our house. And I can attest to the discipline in the kitchen as well that Don has spoken of. But yeah, very good.
And I'd like to also point out, I live in Hastings on Hudson. So Tony was my police chief for many years and did an amazing job.
Thank you.
And kept the area very safe and kept the kids out of trouble. And I live about 100 yards away from Santi's old house. So I walk by it almost every day when I walk my dog. So I always have great thoughts of Santi and the times we had there.
And that's in New York.
Yeah, in Hastings on Hudson.
Outside of New York.
I would imagine
just north.
anybody who walked by our house at mealtime was getting some good aromas coming from this.
Yeah. So, Richard is giving us a sign we got to go to quick break. When we get back from the break, I wonder if we can all just quickly go around the table here and thank Santi for one important thing that he's brought to our lives. Richard, you there?
I am right here.
Okay, let's go to quick break. Then we're going to all do round robin thanking Santi for something important that he's given us. Don't turn that down. Back in a minute, Santi's 90th birthday celebration on air. And we are speaking to friends from Rome, from the Buddha of Italy, from New York, from Channel Islands University, from Santa Barbara too. Don't turn that down. Back in a minute with Santi's birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
Oh yeah. Wait 10 minutes.
Well, everybody, thank you. This has been really good. And everybody's so full of great stories. We could go on. Gianfranco, you were telling us during the last break something about an icon on the table.
Yes, I was saying that you know, there was this icon because I think was they had an exhibition with the pictures of Santi, and the book came out from Rizzoli, which is a publishing company very famous, for which Santi worked for. And so I got so excited because I say, oh, this is a friend of mine. I'm also a friend of the artist. So the people were excited and asked me, oh, how do you know? So I started saying, you know, little things about Santi's work, about Santi's personality. And for the people around, it was like, you know, that Santi was among us that besides evening, you know. So I was very, very happy that I could connect these people that was, you know, buying the book and so on, and myself. Oh, I would say before, you know, thank you for you know, who organized all this event, which is really lovely for you to organize. And I would say that since Santi turned 90, from today, besides being a friend, he's also became an icon for all of us. Santi became an icon.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And of course, that was, I don't know, Gianfranco, if you had the opportunity to see the movie that was made of Mentors.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, between Tony and Santi. And
Yes,
yeah.
It was a very important movie for Santi and for Tony as well.
And you should have seen that at the opening at the Libera Theater here in Santa Barbara, there were so many crowds.
Yeah,
I mean, there's a huge crowd of people, and people still talk about that. You know, as you know, you're mentioning about.
You've got 4.5 minutes in 3, 2, 1. You're live.
Welcome back. It's Elizabeth Stewart. We're celebrating Santi Visalli's 90th birthday, and I promise we do a round robin of one thing that each of us is grateful for Santi in our lives. Tony, let's start with you, Tony Visalli.
Well, again, happy 90th, Pop, and thank you for bringing me into this world. I love you.
I love you too.
Yes.
I love you. Unfortunately, you live so far away.
No.
We could have so much fun together.
I know.
Dr. Yao.
Definitely, Santi, your generosity is wonderful, and just your kindness and welcoming nature. I'm thankful for that.
And Dr. Yao is referring to the donation of thousands and thousands and thousands of a life's work donated to the university. Don, how about you?
I think just I'm so grateful that Santi, I mean, shared so much of his vision of life with me, and that's so important. Like, and when my children were just being born, he warned me against, you know, he said, don't do any darkroom work. Let other people do that for you, because that will free up more time for your family. And that was great advice, and probably gave me thousands of hours more with my family because of that one little thing.
Say that again. He told you what when your kids were born?
To not do any more darkroom work. I was a very skilled darkroom worker, but once you're doing a lot of assignments, you get backed up and it's too much. And he realized that would take from family time. So he said, you know, don't do the darkroom work. Just do the assignments and have time for lunch.
That's a bumper sticker. Have time for lunch.
Yeah,
you know, yeah. Gianfranco, what are you grateful to Santi for?
For many advices he gave to me, you know, about lighting, about the composition, how to be, you know, to take care of the depth of the sky, of the field, and even if you shoot in a room at the daylight and you have light, it's very important to have also a lamp which makes the life more warm, more cozy. It was a great advice if you are shooting still life or room decorations and so on. And
So,
then,
so are you saying that you learned how to use light?
yes, yeah, I'll use light in taking pieces indoor. And then also he gave me a great present. I own one of his tripods, which I still use. He gave me the tripod, to hold the camera for, and I take it like a reliquia. I don't know how you say reliquia, like a very precious thing, the tripod.
Karen, tell us
Yeah.
tell us a thank you.
And then I also have many books of him many books that he gave to me with the dedication, with his signature, a very nice sentence for me, very precious to me.
The many books that Santi's illustrated and the art books that he's done have been dedicated to you, Gianfranco. Karen, tell us a little bit. Thank you.
I think I'm just thankful for both Santi and Gayla for being my friends, for getting to share so much of their life and their friends and their travels with them. It's wonderful to get to see kind of the world through Santi's eyes, as I have through a number of his, obviously, books and photographs. And some of the photographs he's done of me and my father are just wonderful memories for me. So it's a real honor, Santi. Thank you.
Well, yeah.
And I just want to end the hour with just a little quick quote, like I was beginning the hour, and let your best be for your friend. If he must know the ebb of your tide, let him know its flood also. For what is your friend that you should seek with him hours to kill? Seek with him hours in which to live. And I think Santi's given us this joy of life through his vision and through his photographs. We see a feeling artist. We can sense a feeling artist. And we know what the world looks like through a very important artist's eyes. And I think the world is very grateful to Santi for that. And Santi, happy 90th birthday from all of us in Italy, in New York, in Santa Barbara. All your friends wish you all the best in your 90th year. Thank you all for being here. Santi, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sam.
All right, everybody, you are clear.
Hi, I'm Chris Cullen.
I'm Lisa Cullen.
There
And
we
I'm
go.
Leanna Finley.
Our program is called Garden
Fantastic.
Gossip.
Stay tuned to
Santi,
KZSB
happy
Santa
birthday.
Barbara, the Santa Barbara
Really,
News
it's a
Press
pleasure
radio
to
station.
celebrate with
From the
you.
KZSB
And,
AM/FM News
I
Center,
hope to
I'm
see
Ben
you in
Hayes with
studio
news
again
from
very, very
California
soon.
and the West. President Joe Biden is calling Russia's
And we'll send you
assault on
guys all
Ukraine a
these links,
premeditated
okay? We'll
attack
send you
on
the
the people
link
of that country.
to the
Spoke
interview
about it from the
today.
White House.
Vladimir Putin has been
All right, bye.
planning this for months, as we've been saying all along. He moved more than 175,000 troops, military equipment and positions along the Ukrainian border. Putin is the aggressor.
Ciao,
Putin chose this war. And now he and his country will bear the consequences.
President Biden also unveiled another round of sweeping economic sanctions against Russia. Russia is a major producer of oil, and with what's happening in Ukraine, you can expect to pay more at the gas pump. More with ABC's Alex Stone.